all day you don't got shit. Thank you for working so hard so I can be home all day. Free. I can use my EBT. Go to work for me, white boy, white girl. Yeah. Go to work for me, you white animals. Work for me. Yeah, you work for me. And the US government they work for me. All of you work for me. Now go to work.
And a holly jolly Christmas to you. You see, for some folks, it's Christmas every day. Santa will cough up for you whether you're naughty or nice. In fact, there's a political party that's entirely devoted to the naughty.
You cannot talk about any achievement that the city of Boston has had in safety, jobs, and economic development, in education, without talking about the Somali community.
Shut the up!
Really? Whether it's Minneapolis or Boston, the Somali community is over 80% on welfare. Consistently.
We shouldn't be illegal when this is literally like stolen land.
Hey Democrat Party, say hello to your future Congresswoman. Oh wait, it's actually your present Congresswoman.
It is really shocking, and it should be a wake-up call for all Americans to say this is not the country we were born in. This is not the country we believe in. This is not the country our founding fathers imagined.
Yeah, this bitch needs to go bye-bye. Although I do agree with her that this is not what our forefathers envisioned. Things have progressed so much that Nordic Track is now changing its name to Somali Track, with your own fitness coach program.
Are you ready for a challenge?
Go to work for me, white boy, white girl. Go to work for me, you white animal.
Here in Minnesota, massive fraud is taking place within the government and the Somali population. Here, this building alone, Quality Learning Center, is a daycare, yet they spelled learning wrong, and they said leering. This daycare alone in 2025 has received $1.9 million from the government. And the strange things about these childcare centers is there's no one here right now. It's midday on a weekday, and if you were to try to go inside, it's completely closed and the windows are all blacked out.
So Tim Walz was trying to rationalize away $9 billion in fraud.
But wait, there's more!
But when it came to California and fraud and waste, Gavin Newsom just said, hold my Somali. He's got $75 billion in fraud and waste. He wins.
This latest report was issued by the state auditor, and that's a nonpartisan position. There is the Department of Finance, which was tasked with giving out COVID relief funds. Critics say $32 billion of that was taken by fraudsters. Then there are infrastructure issues like California's deteriorating dams and also the high-speed train that's already cost taxpayers $18 billion.
So let's focus on some positive stuff, huh? Trump is still president.
Second time around the block delayed. Third quarter numbers. We're looking for 3.3. Zoom, zoom, zoom. 4.3%.
$2.95 a gallon as of today. That is miles away from the all-time high set back in 2022 under former President Biden, above $5 a gallon.
You might take this stuff for granted, but you really shouldn't. Any major reversal from the Democrats is a positive. Let me just stop a second and recognize everyone out there for watching. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, everybody. It's been a tough year. My mom died some months ago, and now my father just passed away earlier this month. It's a cliche when that happens, right? When a couple's been together for a very long time. My parents were married for over 60 years. There is a major bereavement effect for people. You can actually die of literal heartbreak. It's called Takotsubo cardiomyopathy. My father didn't die exactly of that, but my mom and dad were in their 80s. And just so you know, if you get to your 80s, if the husband dies first, women are 10 to 16% likely to die the same year as their spouse. When the wife dies first, though, men have a 20 to 30% chance of dying the same year. So if you want to avoid this kind of outcome, the key thing here is that if you are married, remember, get divorced in your 50s. That's the personal stuff. So onward and upward, and let me clumsily work in my commercial. If you'd like to support me, go to my Patreon page at patreon.com/jokesandApoint. At any paid level, you will receive the Trump tumbler and a pop socket. You just need to give me your address. I'd like to thank all the existing folks who support me. I wish them and you the best possible 2026. Be sure to help me out by liking, commenting, and mostly subscribing. Now back to why the Democrats suck.
Yeah, I mean, Democrats in the minds of the American public are lower than the Dead Sea. What are we talking about here? Well, let's take a look. The net approval rating for Democrats in Congress, you said it, Kate Baldwin, the lowest ever. Look at this. Overall, they are 55 5 points underwater. Their approval rating is south of 20%. It's even worse when you look at independents. Look at this, negative 61 points. That means that their approval rating is 61 points lower than their disapproval rating. Quinnipiac has been polling this question for the better part of the 21st century. They have never found Democrats, at least those in Congress, in worse shape than they are right now.
And they just keep on proving that again and again when you look at where the Democrats actually are in control.
75-year-old Jeanette Markin standing on the corner, and police say this is Fale Pea walking up with a stick in his hand when out of nowhere he attacks her. Jeanette is knocked to the ground.
There's no justifiable reason in the world why this poor woman should be hit in the face, losing an eye. Surprise, the guy was a repeat offender. But instead of locking him away, they just let him out again and again and again. Because, you see, locking away is a racist act. This was Seattle, so watch, they'll come up with some ingenious approaches to safeguard people. I know, maybe some safety warning signs. Warning, violent bum drug addict schizo walking zone. Proceed with caution. Or to really simplify things, warning, Democrat-controlled area. If you call something racist, it satisfies the guilt and punishment fetish of the educated white people. The late, great Patrice O'Neal spotted this, only he was talking about how white people were responding to Radiohead's song Creep.
But it's something about this song, it digs deep to this loserdom
that all white people have.
That white people have this innate thing where they want to feel bad. I didn't own slaves, but I'm a weirdo.
This is funny, but it also hits the mark. There are dangerous white supremacists out there, to be sure, but that danger is far surpassed by the damage of white masochists, who pose a far more menacing threat, because it leads directly to this. Or say, a young lady set on fire, or maybe cruelly stabbed in the neck. People are manipulated to be upset about one thing and to pay no attention to the other. It used to be acknowledged that everyone was capable of racism, not just white people. I remember seeing that from radical right-wing filmmaker Spike Lee.
Dago Wop, Guinea, garlic bread, pizza slingers.
Gold teeth, gold chain wearing, fried chicken.
Little slanty-eyed, me no speaky American, own every fruit and vegetable stand in New York.
Goya bean eating, 15 in a car, 30 in an apartment.
Ego cream drinking, bagel and deluxe, banana for this Jew, asshole!
So now the left is big on making racism a whites-only phenomenon. They're also trying to make us forget what laws actually exist. You know, to turn immigration law into an interpretive dance.
Not arrest someone for just being illegal, for having no papers. It's
when
not
you cross the border illegally, it is a
offense.
yes, it is. It's a federal offense.
No, it's not. Look it up. Google it. I would love to see it.
Do you think this is rare? Not only did she not Google the subject herself, but she actually went through the trouble of making a sign, going outside, standing in protest, and then demand that you Google it. Not only does it demonstrate how dangerously clueless liberals are, but it also shows how arrogant they are. She's acting with the full confidence of someone who's done exhaustive due diligence on the subject and hasn't intellectually lifted a finger. So we have dim-witted public policy about crime because of race sensitivity. And then we have illegal immigration being defended over race sensitivity. Then when you get past that, the liberals will pivot to ideas of, we're a nation built by immigrants. Notice the double-edged sword hypocrisy of it all. On one hand, they'll say that immigrants built this country, and then they'll just as easily turn around and say the immigrants stole the land. There's also this dumb view of history that previous group strife from the 1890 immigrant wave, like you see in Gangs of New York, is just like today.
Who holds sway over the 5 points? Us natives, born rightwise to this fine land, or the foreign hordes defiling it?
Of course, there's inevitable clashes, but it's all going to work itself out. What's ignored about that is that the 1890s people came over legally. There were no government gift bags, no food stamps. In fact, if the immigrant in question didn't have enough money, and if he or she was perceived to be a burden, they were sent away. Also, there were complete stoppages of immigration for decades in our history, so trying to equate historic conflicts with conflicts of today is ridiculous. And this isn't confined to the leftists of the United States. I saw this at play in a video where English journalists were trying to argue with Connor Tomlinson. From what I've seen, this guy's tremendous, by the way. And he absolutely wipes the floor with these morons.
We live in a Welsh village. Yes. Where there are antagonisms between the Welsh and the Anglos.
Yep.
And it's been going on since 1282.
Yes. That means so we shouldn't hang on. That's fine for you to say it's not a problem from your Welsh village. That is an intranational conversation. That doesn't mean we need to.
Not really. I don't think the Welsh would say it like that.
The United Kingdom, the British Isles.
They don't believe in it.
Okay. It's a landmass that we're locked in, whether we like it or not, right? Okay, does that mean we import, does that mean we import ethnic and religious prejudices from other parts of the world? For example, the recent reignition of the conversation around Pakistani Muslim rape gangs in the UK, right? That is a completely preventable problem. It is.
I think you're getting away from my point.
No, I'm not getting away from
We've had the English for 800 years, and we're okay with it.
No. You've realised for a moment there that you've picked an example that is landlocked to the UK. So we're stuck with that, right? I agree, we're stuck. It does not mean that because we have a localised conflict, we import other conflicts from around the world when we know they can happen.
He's absolutely correct. One conflict is unique to the United Kingdom having centuries to sort itself out, versus importing completely different cultures on the citizens' dime when they're struggling to afford their own lives, getting ripped off and brutalized in unimaginable ways, turning the host culture, the citizenry, a minority in the process, being loathed and spat on internally by the social engineering intellectual elites, and also loathed from the external peoples coming in.
Go to work for me, you f***ing white animal.
So what's the goal here?
It's the Somalification of America. In other words, when you see the state of Somalia, that's what they want for America at the end of the day, because it's easier to rule over an empire of ashes than it is for the Democratic Party to rule over a functioning, Western, high-trust society with a strong middle class.
Well, I hope you marked your calendar, because I know I did. No way was I going to miss out on World Hijab Day.
We're proud of this department of where we came. We came from where there was barely any Muslim officers to where we have over 1,200 members of service and over 10 ladies wearing hijab as a member of service, uniform member of service. And I think that's awesome. And I'm looking forward for another 100,000 ladies wearing hijabs in the near future.
100,000?
Wrong!
Yes, when she says she wants 100,000, you can believe her. We're going to tolerate ourselves right into the abyss, it seems. If you refuse to say no, if you refuse to say enough, then get ready for a constant stream of surreal news reports.
Debates raged on for at least 3 hours at Hamtramck City Hall over the new ordinance of sacrificing animals.
Sell crazy someplace else. We're all stocked up here.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe. Be sure to pass around to anybody who might like my content. And I'll see you the next time.